All right, hello everyone. So I'm having a look at some more angle between two lines today. So I'm hoping you enjoyed the last one. So here's an example of one. Find the angle between let's say 2x minus y plus 5 equal to 0, and let's say blah, 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 3x plus y minus 7 equals 0. So we're going to try and find the angle between these 2 points. So again, if you remember, the trick with these, I suppose it's like anything else, there is always a trick, is to find the slopes. Okay, we'll need the slopes in order to make this work. So the slope of this fella minus the coefficient of x over the coefficient of y. So the slope of this fella is going to be, so that we'll call him M1. He's going to be 2. And the slope of this one, we'll call him M2. He's going to be minus the coefficient of x over the coefficient of y. It's going to be minus 3. Okay, so what's our formula? Well, I'm not going to tell you straight away. That may take all the fun out of it. I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1 countdown. You're going to pause your computer. You're going to do the sum. Then you're going to unpause your computer. And by the power of Grayskull, we'll be able to do it then. 3, 2, 1, pause. And we're back. Okay, so hope you got it. Really do hope you got it. Okay, if you didn't, don't worry, we'll go through it. But remember, the key to start here is write down our formula. The tan of the angle is equal to plus or minus, but we'll go for the absolute value anyway on this one, of M1 minus M2. So it's 2 minus 3 over 1 plus 2 times minus 3. So that's equal to, let's see, that's 5 over minus 5. 5 over minus 5. Excuse me. And the tan of minus 1. Okay, so theta is equal to tan inverse of minus 1. Let me get the calculator out here. 135 degrees. Okay. Right, cool. Or it could be 45 degrees, you know, if you were getting the other version of it. Okay, but that's, there you go. Happy days. Nice one done. Okay. So it's either or it's going to be 45 degrees. Now I'm going to assume it's going to be the acute version of this, not the non-acute version of this. Okay, so if you go with the minus 1, that's what you're going for. And if you go with the plus 1, you go with the plus 1. So remember, plus or minus. So if it's the plus version, you're getting a negative. It's the minus version, you're getting a positive. So you get the idea of it. Okay, they'll usually give you more information than what those lads gave you, unless you were asked to draw it on top of it, in which case, fair enough. Okay, we'll try another one. One piece of paper gone. Right. Let's try this one. Let's try and find the angle between x minus 3y plus 4 and 2x plus y minus 5. Okay, and we look specifically for the smaller angle. Okay, so hint, hint. So how are we going to do it? Well, we're going to do 3, 2, 1 pause, and you're going to do it. Okay, because I know how to do it already. So 3, 2, 1, pause and do it. And unpause, and we're back. Okay, so this one's a bit easier in the sense that we know where we're going with this one. So let's get the slope of both lines and see what happens. Okay, so let's use a different color. I think at this stage we're all getting a bit tired of the purple. Let's see, is there a nicer color out here in my little kind of tricks? Oh, green. Wonder what's green like. We'll try green. Okay, so what's the slope of this one? Minus the coefficient of x over the coefficient of y. So m1 is equal to a third. Minus the coefficient of x over the coefficient of y. m2 is minus 2. So I'm hoping that green does look like it's popping. Okay, it's a bit better. So let's have a look then and see where we're going with this. So we want the tan of theta. We're going for the acute one. So we'll get the absolute value and do fine. What are we doing? A third minus 2 over 1 plus the third times minus 2. Okay, so that's the tan of theta is going to be 2/3 over 1/3, which is 2/3 over 1/3 is 21 over 3, which is 7. Okay, 7. So the tan inverse is 7 on my calculator is 81.87 degrees, which is 82 degrees, which is acute, it's the smaller angle. Okay, happy days on that one. That's another nice one done. So that's two kind of general purpose ones where there's not much problem solving required into them. Let's kick into maybe one that does require a bit of problem solving just to see where we go from there. Okay, so now, here's a nice one. Right, find that's x minus root 3y plus 4, and we have root 3x minus y minus 7 equals 0. Ouch. So we've got the old surds playing a bit of part here. So let's try this bad boy then. So again, I can see where they're going with this straight away because I know you haven't done trigonometry, as in Leavenworth trigonometry, but root 3 does call to me in terms of what it's possibly going to be. I'm going to predict it's going to be something like 30 degrees, but we'll go with it anyway and see where it goes. So we need to get two slopes. We're going to use our normal rules. Don't be freaked out by the fact that there's roots in there. M1 in this case is going to be minus the coefficient of x over the coefficient of y, which is going to be 1 over root 3. And this one is going to be minus the coefficient of x over the coefficient of y, which is actually root 3. You can see what's going on here because we multiply them together. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's do our magic on this one. So tan of the angle is plus or minus, what are we looking at here? 1 over root 3 minus root 3 over 1 plus 1 over root 3 times root 3. So that's going to be 2 on the bottom, and on the top 1 over root 3 minus root 3, common denominator root 3. So that's 1 minus 3 over root 3. 1 minus 3 is minus 2 over root 3 over 2. Yeah, so it's minus 2 over root 3 over 2. So that's going to be minus 2 over 2 root 3. Which 2 will cancel. Minus 1 over root 3. Okay, we're getting the absolute value off it. What's 1 over root 3? Well, you look it up on your log tables or do it on your calculator, but it's 30 degrees. So tan inverse 1 over root 3, which happens to be 30 degrees. You can kind of spot it a mile away, but again, I'm not expecting you to spot it a mile away because you haven't really come across the significance of root 3 in terms, same with root 2. They both have significance in terms of trigonometry, but you're not expected to know that at the moment. Okay, so we'll try another one. We'll get a little bit, yeah, we'll go backwards on this one. Okay, right. So what we're going to have a look is we're going to find the equation. Okay, of two lines passing through. And this could be true at any point, but we'll go easy on it at the start. Passing through 0, 0, which make angles of 45 degrees with, now remember we did this one video back, we did an example of this with 2x plus y minus 2 equal to 0. Okay, so you can visualize this anyway, but basically what you have is you've got two lines passing through 0, 0. So you could have, let's say, there's 0, 0. You could have two lines that could be the x and y axis. They could technically, and then you have a third line going across them like that. Okay, so, but let's try and make it not like, it could be like that, but let's just go, there's one line, okay, and there's another line. And what we're given is this point and also that green line. Okay, so that's all we're given to kind of help us get through this, and then we're just asked to kind of find the possibilities for those two lines. Now again, if you look back on the last video, you'll see how this was done, but so do feel free to look back on the last video and then try and do it. I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1 pause, but otherwise just hold on for a second and we'll give it a go. 3, 2, 1 pause. Okay, and we're back. So what do we know for a fact? We know that two lines make 45-degree angles with these bad boys. Okay, so the tan of 45 degrees is equal to plus or minus the two slopes, but I only know one of them. I know his slope, but I don't know which of the other slopes, but we'll just call it M2. Okay, so what's the slope of this? Sorry, let's see. Yeah, sorry, now that's not going to be doable. That's a 3. Just spotted that there. My bad. Okay, so you wouldn't have been able to do it. So, you know, apologies for that. 2x plus 3y minus 2. Okay, so, well, actually, you would have been able to do it, but it would have been just horrible. You got a totally different answer. So, I'm going with this one because if you're following it from the book, you'll get the same enjoyment out of it as I did. So, what are we looking at here? We've got minus 2/3 minus M2 over 1 plus minus 2/3 times M2. So we have everything apart from the M2s. Okay, so let's try and tidy this up a teensy weensy bit. Okay, as much as we possibly can, because you know it is a tough one. You can't argue on that one. It looks tough. It isn't tough, but it looks it. So let's start off with the easy stuff. Okay, tan of 45 is 1. What are we left with here? Let's ignore the plus and minus for a minute, okay? So we've got minus 2/3 minus M2. Now I can't leave it like that. I need to kind of get it together. So common denominator would be 3. And then you'd have minus 2 minus 2 minus 3 M2. Okay? Over 3. And then on the bottom line, what are we going to be left with? You're going to be left with 1 plus minus 2M2 over 3. So that's another common denominator of 3. And you've got, 3 minus 2M2. So you can see what's happening here. The 3's are going to cancel, aren't they? Okay, because if you have one thing divided by 3, divided by another thing divided by 3, the 3's are going to cancel, and you're just going to be left with those two fellas. Okay, so let's see what happens. So remember, we've got a plus or minus here, but because we don't know, because one of them is going to give us the other one. So let's try, and first of all, that's really going to be plus or minus -2 minus 3M2 over 3 minus 2M2. So it's plus or minus that equal to 1. Okay, so what's next stage? I know you're probably at this stage thinking, oh, this, I've given up. You're so close. You really are so close. Okay, so we have a plus version or a minus version of this. Okay, so what you can do, okay, what you can do if you want is think to yourself, if we go with the plus version of that, that stays as it is. Okay, so one possibility for M2 is just going to be this. -2 minus 3M2 over 3 minus 2M2 equal to 1. Okay? That's one possibility. The other possibility is if the negative was there, the negative would only get distributed across the top line, wouldn't it? So the other possibility, and that would generate an M2. Okay, the other possibility is going to be 2, because that negative gets distributed across there, plus 3m2 over 3 minus 2m2 equal to 1. And that would generate another m2. Okay, I hope you're with me so far on this, because remember what you're asked is 2 possible lines. And you can only have 2 possible lines if you have 2 possible slopes. Okay, so this is just really a matter now of figuring out the slopes. Now, what do we know for a fact? We know that if we find one of the slopes, because we've got 45-degree angles here, this means this is perpendicular, this line to this line, which means I only need to find one of these. The other one has to be its inverse. So it's really just a matter of you figuring out. So I'm just going to take him, maybe, solve him, and then I know his slope, but I can perpendicular it to get his slope. That means I know the 2 slopes, and I have a point, and I can do me magic, and bing, bang, boom. Okay, so I'm going to take him. So he is cross multiply. So you're going to be left with whatever. Minus 2 minus 3m2 is equal to 3 minus 2m2. So that's minus, bring that across. That's minus m2 is equal to 5. M2 is equal to minus 5. So m2 is equal to minus 5. So that's minus 5, which makes that one 1/5. Okay, so there's my 2 lads done. Now, how do I finish this off? Well, of course, now we have to do our y minus y1, but thanks be to God, the points are 0. So it makes it a hell of a lot easier. Okay, so it makes it a hell of a lot easier because you're just subbing in 0 for y1 and x1. So let's take this one. Okay, that's going to be y is equal to minus 5x. And let's take this one. That's going to be 5y is equal to x. So, you know, Shanae, if you want to put them in the correct order, 5x plus y equal to 0 and x minus 5y equal to 0. Okay, so there you have that one done. That's a bit tougher now, a bit longer of a sum. That's a pretty hefty sum, and that's definitely doable on a leave insert. Okay, definitely doable on a leave insert. Okay, so gonna leave it at that. You're gonna try a few more of these, see how you get on. Hopefully look back over this. Look at the key to do with this. If you know the angle, that's the key. Okay, that's the key if you can know the angle there. Okay, if it's 45, this is a nice little trick. If it's not 45, tough. You're going to have to solve both of them. That's just life. Okay, but if it is 45, you've got a little bypassing trick there, which is handy. It's nice when they give it to you 0, 0. It means you're doing your y minus y1 is equal to m on x minus x1. Becomes a lot quicker to do. In fairness, it really does. If not, you're just going to do it old school. Right. Okay. I'll leave it at that. Okay. Take care. Bye.